Hey, good people. This is Rocky with Rocky's Reality, the #1 podcast for unfiltered and unapologetic culture, entertainment, and relationships. Tap in live Thursdays, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as I chat with some of the dopest artists, celebrities, influencers, entrepreneurs, and more. Make sure to catch us live Thursdays, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Roku. See you soon. All right, welcome back to Rocky's Reality. Tonight, I am speaking with the cast of Love and Marriage Detroit. Well, I wanted to get the men's perspective on what has been happening this season and what happened last season as well. But just overall, getting their feedback on what we can expect from the upcoming second half of the second season, by the way. A lot of people are thinking this is a new season. No, this is the second part of the second season. And so hopefully we will see them for a third season. So in the meantime, I am going to bring to the stage Anthony Thompson, Brandon Smith, and Bravo Samuels. So give them some round of applause, everyone. Welcome them to the show. Hey, fellas, thank you for coming. Or what up, doe, as I should say. How are y'all?
What up, doe?
What's up, fellas? And hey, Rocky, we appreciate the invite.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, when I had you and Dr. Latoya on, I told you then the first season, I was like, I gotta have y'all back on. And so I'm glad this time you all were able to synchronize your schedules so we could get this together. So I'm looking forward to the premiere of the second part. Y'all took a little while because it was like back in November, December.
No, they took a little while.
They took a little while.
Yeah, we have nothing to do with any of that.
Okay, so you're right. Don't put it on us. The onus is on OWN, pretty much, the network. Okay, so it took a while. So I'm glad that y'all back for the second part of the second season, and I'm looking forward to it. And just like a lot of us were kind of predicting during that first season, and that we wanted that Bravo and his lovely wife to join. So I'm glad y'all did, Bravo, because y'all did bring a little spice to the show.
Likewise, it was more fun for us.
Okay, good. I'm glad because I hate when I see like couples succumb to the reality show curse of, so it can definitely be
no,
the curse.
We all
they say people break up.
Hey, there ain't no curse. We rebuke that.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that, Anthony. So, and of course, glad to see you and Dr. Latoya back. And Brandon, of course, you part of the originals as well. You and Christina. So enjoying it. I mean, as a fellow Detroiter, I'm enjoying it. You know, it is what it is. I appreciate how you all are making us look good overall. Y'all making us look good. Y'all representing for businessmen, men who love their family, men who are God-fearing, men who are like real brothers too.
Yeah.
So let's get into that, because especially Brandon and Anthony, y'all be bickering, going back and forth. I'm like, they is like real brothers growing up in a household. So talk to us about the dynamics. Like, were y'all friends? We know y'all were friends before the show, but how did all of this come together? Talk about the dynamics. And I'll start with Anthony.
We used to see each other a lot when we would be, I forgot Prevail's name of the studio he had, but say it again.
Collective.
Yeah, Collective. So myself working with the label, some of the other label guys, we all would come together and do a lot of, when artists came to town, do listening parties and different stuff like that. Brandon, he was doing this thing. He was working with a lot of the local artists and helping them develop. And that's when we started talking from there majority of the time. And so it was more things of that nature. Everybody was just doing their own thing in the entertainment landscape. And, you know, we always stayed in contact, and, you know, that's just really how we flowed.
Okay, so were y'all, so how did, and was Bravo, you were in that piece as well? Because I know Bravo, you've been on the scene as far as a business owner around the city for years now. So is that how you figured in this to this dynamic as well?
Yeah, I mean, I was in music for probably around 2 years, but I was more in the party side. And, you know, nightlife always flows with music in the same city. So, you know, most musicians, they like nightlife. So I always came across them, and they always came across me. So, yeah, I mean, that's basically how it all flowed. We kind of like were in the same entertainment sector. I was just in a different one than they were. They were music. I was nightlife, but it all came together in our small city.
Right, because you can't have nightlife without music. Like they go together, and they all go together.
Nightlife energizes music. Music energizes nightlife, I should say. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Agreed. So what about you, Brandon? How did you figure in what you did you want to add to that?
I can't remember, you know, it's been so long. I don't know when, I don't know what year we met. I just know I done known both of them forever. And then I know Bravo was like one of the first people like selected for this show. And then they selected me and Christina. And then, you know, they asked for referrals, and we referred the Harrises and the Thompsons, and they both got selected. So, yeah, now we all just one big happy family on Oprah's network.
Are y'all really now? Are y'all really?
Yeah.
I got really, because y'all don't be sitting happy all the time. Or is it just family stuff? I know like the shows, they cut and they edit. So how much is it really for real? And how much is it fabricated? And either one of y'all can answer.
I mean, season one, like whatever you see is 1,000% attributed to us as individuals. But I know season one, none of us had done reality before, so it's like a lot of pressure because, you know, as soon as those cameras start rolling, the number one thing is you know you can't be boring on camera, right? So you're trying to figure out how to make a conversation entertaining, how to just be relevant. And so sometimes you just say some things, you know, you might not say in real life, you know, you just say you might say a little extra, like Star Factory ain't never had no stars.
Still on there. Here we go.
That is hilarious.
But that was season one. My experience is like, you know, it's just like, all right, I can't be boring. What we gonna do today? What's going on? You know, but go ahead.
That's real. That's real. And they didn't show it on camera as much. They showed mainly. It seemed like they cut to me and Brandon, but Bravo had a whole lot of parts of that as well with the jokes and, you know, the intertwining between the three of us. I always thought that the three dynamic was always good because it was pretty funny. Like
you said Bravo. You said Bravo what?
I said that I thought that the three-way dynamic was
before that. You said what?
What did I miss? I missed it.
He said, what did he say, Brandon? He said Bravo had what?
He just said you played into a lot of the the drama as well.
Okay.
No, see what happens is this.
It's funny though.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Because sometimes I could tell some of y'all was getting brave. Y'all was saying it with y'all chest a lot of times. I was like,
here's what happens. There's three of us that have a conversation. Two of us are a little bit more adamant about the subject. They will take two of you and then say, hey, you guys come over here and talk about it. And you guys have a conversation knowing that you guys agree less with each other, and the other person that sit back. And then of course they bring in an extra camera. I mean, if you argue with somebody and everybody pulls up on their iPhone, you're not gonna lose on camera. You're not gonna lose your argument on camera. And so it does become a little more, you know, of the fact that you are doing what you can do to win your argument and win your opinion. And that's basically where you get it from. That's how you get the
they
scene.
definitely wanted to see me and Brandon go back and forth. Yeah. We got went back and forth one time.
And you can't lose on camera. You cannot lose with if you had 20 iPhones on you arguing with somebody, you're not gonna be the guy that loses in front of 20 iPhones. So I mean, in the long run of it, it's all what you think and how you feel, but it's just a little more, you know, more aggressive because you don't want to lose in front of everybody.
Okay.
Am I wrong, guys?
No, I think that they switched the dynamic, especially from season one. Because season one, they had it to where me and Brandon was on the same team and hitting people. And then when we had an exchange, they liked it. Because I heard the producer behind the scenes like, oh, we like this Ebony and Ivory going back and forth and all this stuff. So I knew what it was. That's what they used to say. They used to call us Ebony and Ivory.
Okay. So it is it's parts. And I think like for men, it sounds like y'all ego because like Bravo said, you can't lose if people are watching. And you talk about 20 iPhones, you might be on a TV. You got like 2 million people
100%.
looking at you, as opposed to 20 iPhones. So
And
it's kind of like that.
We all got our little coach that when we break the scene, we go off into our corner, and our coach, sitting there, our producer basically, is sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna let him? You remember what he said?
Okay.
And so they kind of feed your ego too. You be like, you know what? You're right.
Yep.
I think it worked more season 1 than 2 though. Season 2 we was up on game. Season 1 we ain't know. They was getting us.
Yeah, it's safe to say that season 1 the fellas kind of carried it. Season 2 is more about the women.
Yeah. Okay, because there was drama both seasons though, but things definitely piped up, especially with Kimberly and Marcel joining and the Dobines joining. That dynamic. And it seems like Bravo, you and Keita seem like y'all just be chilling in the cut, like y'all had a little rift too, but it seemed like y'all were chilling while the rest of the couples were just going at it.
I mean, Keita's a more of a passive person. She's more an introvert. I'm more the extrovert. So I mean, like, I would get into more stuff than she will, 100%.
Okay.
Keita's very passive and an introvert. So I mean, Keita was the reason why we weren't on the show on season 1. And you guys seen me for a little bit more, and then you started seeing her because she's like, I'm not gonna have you on the show, and I'm not on there too. Look at like you looking single on the show,
right?
So she's more of an introvert. So that you probably you'll see her lean in a little bit more, probably more and more. But she had her scene on season 2.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't drama, but it was
yeah, I got a question about that. I definitely got a question about y'all's segment. I was like, because as a wife myself, I was feeling some type of way.
Okay.
So, but I still much respect to just what y'all did and what y'all portrayed overall. Because some of the people on social media, I see them saying the show is boring. Y'all need to pipe it up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm glad that they not acting a damn fool. Yeah. Y'all showing that there are Black, intelligent businessmen in Detroit, from Detroit, who not just on no BS. So,
but then they say the other series are too much because it's too much drama. So it's like you can never appease, people that want everything.
It's weird to me because I have people from other shows hit me and say that we rated G, like, and the stuff that they say to each other, they're like, y'all mad at each other for real over that?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It is kind of, it sounds like a lot of miscommunication sometimes. And I think when you know people for a while, some of the stuff, sometimes it sounds like that y'all wanted to address previously. Now that you in this situation, do y'all feel like that in a way put some stuff to the forefront that you should have addressed before the show?
I don't think you can. You got to keep it on camera.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I
don't think
that's the rule. That's the rule. Keep save it for the camera.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, now, I mean, like, people who have issues on the camera, they may have issues off the camera too. But I mean, like, the reality is, like, we opened y'all up to our lives in some sense or forms. So when it's time to discuss certain things, we give it to the people and let them decide.
Okay. So how do Marcel and Russell figure in with you fellas? Because are there cliques? Because it seems like it's cliques who, in any large group of people, it's going to be some people who gravitate more towards each other. So it seems like there might be some cliques there. So talk about that.
Go ahead, Anthony.
I don't think it's no cliques. Anthony. I don't think it's no cliques with the fellas.
Who's the clique, Anthony?
Honestly.
Go ahead.
Say it again, Bravo.
Who's the clique, Anthony? Go ahead.
I already dismantled that, so I don't.
What you mean dismantled?
You know me. I'm a man. I can stand alone.
Yeah.
God has equipped me. I'm an only child, so I've always been able to handle my own.
Anthony says everybody's against him.
No, I said you and Brandon were against me, and you know
really
that. But
so
Bravo, if you really go back, Brandon, this is why I don't be blaming Brandon too much. If you really go back to when we first filmed at the picnic, Bravo always tried to start. He started it from day one.
No, I was asked a question.
No.
I was asked, how was Vegas?
No,
that was it.
No, you said,
and you was like, let me tell you women how this goes. The man's movement. Bro, that's how it
Brandon
went,
was
bro.
there.
Go back and look and see. Go back and look at it, bro. I swear to God.
You talking about
Brandon-
the edited or unedited version?
Ooh. But wait, I
No,
want to
it's
hold on.
real.
I want to get into the second season when y'all were at the dinner at District 78.
Oh, that took
That-
me and Bravo both was over there with our mouths open.
That
we
that
can't-
was a heavy scene
we
when
had nothing to do with
Christina
that.
and
That
Kim was going back and forth. Brandon,
I
can
had
you
zero.
give shine a little light on that? Because that
That's
seemed like
Brandon.
that's been a beef that's been brewing for a while too.
Brandon can speak to that.
Well, yeah, like we didn't know who this guest couple was going to be at all. We didn't. But we seen, we were filming and we seen the empty chairs, and that was my first time seeing Anthony in a minute, because season 1 did kind of like put a rift between us, and me and Russell too. So we just, I'm just there, and then when they walk in, I'm like, oh man. Cause I really didn't know nothing about the beef though. I didn't know. I just knew that Christina and Kim fell out. I remember something about an android from back in the day, but it's just like that was too trivial for me to even process as that being like the reason. So to this day, I still don't know the reason why they fell out. I just know that Kim felt a major way about Christina. And it clearly showed in that scene. Like, she came with 6 years of animosity pent up, and she let it all out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it seemed like all throughout that first half of the season, she was letting it out.
half of the season, she let it out.
Yeah, because they had a several scenes, and it looks like from this preview they're gonna have some more going on. So how do y'all navigate that when people are not getting along? Like what? And so I want to go back to my cliques question. No, who are the cliques? Who gets along? Because the three of y'all are on here for a reason.
We don't really have cliques on the men's side. I think the women's side is more cliquey, but on the men's side, Anthony's gonna say me and Brandon. But in reality,
I see you all the time,
bro. But I'm saying, but in reality, in the last couple of months, even right now, I talk to you more than I talk to Brandon.
Yeah. So
I feel like this. I feel like we're gonna navigate to the conversations that we can navigate to while they're recording. And I mean, whoever you have a longer conversation to, or whoever you agree with more, that's gonna be who everybody says is your clique. But I mean, just because I don't agree with Anthony as much as I agree with Brandon doesn't mean I rock with Brandon more than I rock with Anthony. I think in that sense. I mean, Russell is just everybody loves Russell. He's just a dope. He's a dope dude, And Marcel, I think he's like. That guy that didn't get jumped into the gang yet, but he's still in there. I think that's Marcel to me.
But to be fair for Marcel,
Marcel
to be fair to him is none of us knew Marcel though.
Yeah, none of us knew Marcel. That's the thing. So like he was.
Y'all know him through Kimberly. Y'all know him through her. Okay.
Yeah, he was thrown into the gang without getting jumped in a sense. So we embraced him. He's a really nice hearted guy, but we embraced him. But we were like. Still like, who is this guy? For like,
Bravo was going at him now. Let's keep it a buck.
Wait a minute, who was going at him, Anthony?
Bravo was going at him, but
we still got to come back to that. That's April 12th.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's why I was wondering, because I didn't see too much friction with him. He was too busy trying to keep his Kimberly calm down with what was going on with her and Christina. So, and I know we still getting to know him, but okay, let's talk about that a little bit. Bravo, what's going on with you?
I didn't have my issues with him. I have my issues with them, like that. But as a man, you can't address a man's wife about your issues. You address that man about your issues with So like I said, that's like I think that's second half. And I mean, it's just it was an issue that I had based upon something that you just asked about. The dinner at my restaurant. So we that conversation comes second half.
Okay, so you felt like because they showed their ass for real.
I mean, if somebody screamed in your house constantly, over and over again, and you ask them to stop, and they just didn't listen to you. I mean, in front of guests and partners,
I really didn't understand it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was confused.
Yeah, especially if y'all just having dinner, all of a sudden it just goes, it just explodes, and you sitting there like, what, and it's somebody and somebody you don't know. So you're gonna have more issues with the person that you don't know and the person that you kind of know. Because the person you know, you can always say, "Yo, don't ever do that again." The person you don't know, what you gonna say? Get out after they already left? I mean, no, you don't have an issue with them saying they never invited again. But that was like, it wasn't, the dynamic wasn't they never invited again. It was, I need to have a conversation with them when I get a chance to.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all gonna have that conversation in the second half of
100%.
season 2?
Yeah, Kim was turned up. I had never seen her. That was my first time seeing her turn like that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's what I want to ask. Is that her personality? Or because when I've met her in person, she doesn't seem rah-rah. But of course, it's been a more professional setting. So that's what I wanted to ask. Are the ladies pretty much reflecting who they are? Or is this like for the show as well?
You got to remember too, like, it's different phases of people. Like, I've known Kim since high school, but we had some mutual people. And I've never done business with her. You know, I've seen her out doing stuff and things of that nature, but we weren't like hanging out. It was more like, what's up, fam? When you see each other at events and then you kick it, whatever, talk or whatever, like updates, like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, I love your wife. Like, my wife and her would talk, but me and her really didn't like kick it like that. We got mutual people. And I think it's probably the same thing for the other guys too. Like Bravo and Kim got mutual people, you know, but we ain't calling each other and kicking it or nothing like that.
Right. Okay, gotcha. So, Anthony, you and Dr. Latoya, y'all were kind of mild this first part of the season. Y'all didn't have too much friction going on. Y'all were trying to manage the family, and seemed like y'all's storyline was pretty chill. Y'all first season, seemed like it was a lot going on, but second season,
especially if they'd have tapped into it. Like, we really never have friction like that. We pretty balanced. I know she was dealing with some things when it comes to like with the kids, but I'm the fun dad, so it's pretty easy for me. Like,
yeah, I mean, as a mama of a black son as well, I feel her though.
My boys are with me 20. If people look, like, my boys with me 24/7. Until we had a daughter, it was almost like those were my kids because I took them to all their practices, their games. You know, I took them to the studio with me. Like, they're my boys. Those are my little clones. Mm-hmm. And then she's very close to our daughter because that's her little clone. So that's just really how it went. And so, like, the guys, you know, all the guys on the show got all daughters, you know. So, you know, stuff that we would talk about with kids, I'd be like, well, shoot, I got mine. I run around all the time with mine. And then you'll hear some of the ladies complaining like, he don't do enough here. But I kind of viewed it different because I'm like, when you have daughters, of course, they're going to glean to their mom and want to be like their mom. So, you know, I just looked at it a little different when any of the ladies would say stuff like that.
Okay. And salute to you for being an active dad, for sure. I appreciate it. I'm glad that the show is showing that. I'm glad. So, Bravo, I want to ask about with Keita expressing her concerns about you not communicating with her. What's that about? And we know you busy. We get it. But it seemed like, you know, she was kind of having to say stuff to, you know, you kind of wasn't getting it when she was saying that to you, the issue she was having with, you know, communication with y'all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a man. Men and women don't really communicate to the extent, I think, to whereas we know everything they say. So I mean, I got what she was saying to a specific extent, but I feel like women still don't understand like what a man has to do to be a man, as far as like, you know, like hold the whole house down. And sometimes, like, because my career and my job is more nightly based, you know, she gives me a lot of leverage. And I mean, I'll be real with you. Sometimes I just take advantage of leverage. I don't text a call.
Because I'm like, it don't take you but 20 seconds to send a text message.
No, I mean, that's the reality. I don't text a call when I should. And I mean, so I let her scold me. Take it like a little boy. And
Pause.
And yeah, there you go. And I mean, that was it. You know, it was something that I had to work on. It was something I know for sure I had to work on. And this show actually gives you things that you realize when you look back at it, saying, dang, I could have been better at that. Like, and it's not just like what you say, it's like who you are sometimes. So the show does kind of change you when you actually see the dynamics of who you are and outside of your own, you know, realm. So I mean, I've worked on that.
Wake up call. You looking at yourself like, damn, I was a little
100%. Yeah, you know, you look sometimes you look at like, dang, bro, they were right, you know.
Okay.
Fans be right
how many times did you feel that way when you look back and see our situations? Did you look back and say, dang, I was wrong.
Oh, between you and Brandon?
No, you too. Don't stop excluding yourself,
Oh,
though.
between you and me?
Both.
Between you and me?
Yeah.
I was wrong in some instances. Yeah, I mean, 100%. I feel like we attacked Christina in the first season.
Yeah,
Like,
we
went
was
a little
wrong.
too
We were
hard.
super wrong for that.
We were wrong on that. Yeah, 100%.
I hope y'all have told her that.
We did. We apologize.
Okay. Okay.
But
Okay.
It was certain.
I still stand on some of the stuff I said though, like because I walked through that, you know. So I still feel on some instances like I won't say it the right way. We apologize for overstepping, but in some instances I do feel like you need to let him do his, you know, this is his job and he needs to get out here and be able to provide. Because I walked through that too. You know. But the way it was done, we was doing way too much. We was just trying to hold Brandon down for real. And that's sometimes I got irritated because I'm like, Brandon, did you forget? I always had your back, dog, until like this, like, don't forget. Like, I've always had y'all back. That's what I think get lost in the sauce sometimes. Like,
well, I think also that's a lesson for us as married couples to mind our business because when you know you're gonna ride with your person, and then when you get in the mix, it'd be like, because only that married couple truly understand what's going on.
I get that.
So,
and I think a lot of stuff is said with passion too. So when you speak with passion, you're gonna always look back like, dang, I should have used more reason than passion. So I mean, you know.
I think that women too, y'all weaponize some things too to try to silence. You're gonna be real.
Not weaponize.
Y'all weaponize some ways. Y'all do things to silence the men and try to keep it where we don't talk. Like I be peeping game and I read my Bible. I know what y'all be doing.
Okay, I ain't even gonna touch that. We're not innocent. I ain't even gonna touch that. So, but I agree.
We can go live on that one when y'all ready.
We be doing our thing too. I don't even know what you mean as far as weaponized, but I get what you're saying. So, Brandon, you know I gotta ask you, what's up with you and Christina? Because I was looking at her social media is giving I'm in my healing phase and I'm done with his ass. I'm gonna be honest. So what's happening with you and Christina?
We straight, you know. She's showing y'all what she want to show y'all. So we just got to see how it plays out, how everything plays out. Marriage is hard. And I feel like our marriage during this show has probably been the most tumultuous. And, you're seeing the results of that. So I don't know, I don't know what she healing from, but, it's we straight. We straight.
Amen.
Okay, so maybe that's just my interpretation of some of the stuff that she's posting. Like, maybe that's just my misinterpretation. But do you feel it was things that that were going on in your marriage prior to the show, and like the show just exacerbated it, or what?
Yeah. I mean, like it's like pros and cons of this. It's like I feel like while filming, it's like more pros while filming because you're like forced to have conversations that you might not feel like having, but having those conversations is always going to be progressive. You always are able to work through stuff, when you communicate. But then afterwards, it's like when the show is airing, it's like if you read them comments, that's reading them comments is just
comments from people on social media, like fans, viewers. Okay.
Do you feel the comments?
Reading them comments is what? Reading them comments is what? Finish that, Brandon.
Reading the comments, it's like you have a whole army behind you of people who agree with your side. And then she has a whole people who agree with her, so you can feel like you can start really feeling validated in your feelings and you can start feeling yourself a little bit, because you got so many people that are kind of like siding with you, you know what I'm saying? So I really just stopped reading the comments altogether. just because, you know, I felt myself starting to get a little more bold, like, see, you know, yada, yada, yada. And that's literally how season 1 played out with those two. You know what I'm saying? Like, those two, they're like, yeah, man, you know, don't let her hold you back. I'm like, hey, yeah. You know, so
Yeah, that's a
but that's literally how the comments can have you too. You know, the comments can make you feel that way. Like, so it's just like, yeah, I don't read the comments no more, because it's like, and I feel like that's the biggest difference between the other 3 franchises is I feel like those other 2 franchises, they identify as reality stars. We identify as real Detroit businessmen. And we just identify as regular people, and like whatever we do are real life, you know what I'm saying? And this reality show is just something kind of extra that we do on the side. And so this is not something I sit back and be like, hey man, how can I get more dramatic on camera? That's not what we're about. You know, like we like, how can we push our business forward more on camera? How can we get tighter as a unit now? Because it's like we already did 2 seasons. We know what it is. So it's like, how can we come together and still be entertaining? But, you know, all entertainment doesn't have to just be like beef.
Yeah.
You know, people love like a conflict. People love, you know, antagonists, but it doesn't have to always represent just beef. You know, we ain't gotta be beefed out.
Because when we came into this, we was cool to where I really saw us doing a lot of stuff together and opening doors for a lot of people. Because we all have done that already. I just saw us opening doors for people. But the agenda wasn't the same for others, you know, like it's a collective to put out this project. So, you know, we got to stay on the same page. That's really what the guys, really, we the leaders and we lead. And it's just like, we can't worry about what the ladies are doing. We really got to just stand up and be who we are. You know, that's how I look at it.
Okay. So Brandon, that's you and Christina are straight. You saying y'all straight?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I guess we'll have to, we gonna see more in the second half of season 2.
I don't remember nothing from the. I 1000% disagree with splitting this season up into 2 halves. Yeah. I feel like we had so much momentum. It was like right when we got to episode 6, as I started seeing like the results, it's like the buzz was high and heavy. Yeah. And then now I don't even remember. I don't remember. I don't know what was shown. I remember filming, but I don't remember what was aired and what wasn't. I really don't. I don't.
Okay. But in real time, you and Christina good. In real time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, question for all 3 of you fellas, and going back to something that Bravo said earlier. What lessons have you learned about your marriage doing this show? And I'll start with Bravo and then come back around.
I mean, I just feel like personally, I just need to, you know, respect and communicate, you know, where I'm at. And you know, the thing is, like, a man doesn't understand how much he's needed, not just physically in a family, but how much he's needed mentally for them to feel secure that when he's outside of the household, that he's going to come back. And I feel like that right there is something that a lot of guys don't think about, because we walk in confidence, so much in confidence, that when we leave out the household, we never think about how they feel about, you know, how scared they are that we don't come back. And I think that's the thing right there. Like, if I'm out, you know, past a certain time, you know, her fears get a little more exacerbated. So I need to, like, go ahead and just take care of that. That's really it. Other than that, we have a great relationship. You know, we're like yin and yang, and we mesh pretty good on that end.
Yeah. Because sometimes just sending us a little text or a call, we good. Because, you know, women, our brain go to 50,000 levels, especially as Black men.
I know. 100,000 levels.
But y'all, that's that same courtesy we give y'all as well.
Women create stories like that never will exist. Like I call it fear. You know what fear is? Finding every artificial reason. Women in almost every situation, they find every artificial reason to worry, be concerned, be angry.
But y'all
be
don't worry
mad.
if y'all haven't heard from us, though? What if y'all haven't heard from us? What if Keita was out for hours? You wouldn't worry? Or be like, oh, I hope something happened to her? Or...
No, you know what? In reality, no. I just be like, she said she was gonna be here. Why is she not here? She must be at the store shopping. We don't never think of the worst. Women be thinking of the worst. Either he's cheating, either he's in trouble, either he's whatever. You know, we just be like, she must have found a dress and put it on and tried it on for an hour. Or she must be coming home with 5 extra grocery bags. Like we don't think about the worst, like when our woman leaves out. And I had to learn that. Like, you know.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. What about you, Anthony? What have been some lessons you've learned or lesson you've learned?
Well, the lesson I've learned is, you know, TV is a lot different than real life. What you say, you know, can affect everybody. You know, that's something I did learn. Another piece was my wife. She really understands now how much work goes into everything, because she just looked like, oh, he at work. Now she's like, oh, she's pay attention more now. And it's like, dang, you do a lot. You know, I think it brought realization about all the things that I do, because sometimes I do make it a little easier. I don't talk about it, you know. So, you know, we talk about, that's my best friend. So we talk about a lot, but I never was a person that we didn't talk about what I had going on. We talk about family. We talk about stuff with her going on. It's just, you know, my family is my escape. So, you know, that's just really how it was. From the show, also, I learned that, you know, if you make a mistake too, you know, you can rebuild, you know. So that's what I'm looking at all of us doing, is just like, you know, we've rebuilt kind of, but the guys to rebuild and show it to the world.
I love that. Yep. What about you, Brandon? What are some lessons you've learned?
I mean, I just learned that, you know, I learned that we both had a lot of issues, a lot of unhealed traumas, just a lot of things that we just didn't deal with in our past, you know. And so I started therapy immediately after filming season 1. And it was just because I got a taste of what it was like with me and my mother. I got a taste of that. I was like, yo, I need this. And so I've been doing that ever since. And so I just feel like, you know, if you can find the time and energy to work on yourself and, you know, like nurture, you know, the relationship, then, you know, it'll push forward. But, you know, it's got to start with you as the individual first, you know. Because you got to show up as your greatest self, and you know you got all this stuff going on with your business, with your children, and all of this stuff. Sometimes it's hard to show up as your greatest self when you know you putting everything before yourself. You know, so yeah, it's just you gotta work on you, the individual.
That's one main lesson we learn is being married, because it's easy to blame your spouse, but marriage is a mirror. You got to make sure you handling your stuff first. So I appreciate your time, fellas. I did want to, so Saturday, April 12th, it's on 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
Love and Marriage, Detroit, second half of season 2. Y'all hear any rumblings about a season 3?
I haven't heard anything.
No,
Okay.
we were just trying to find a rumblings on a season 2.
Say it again, Bravo. You kind of paused.
Oh, I said we were trying to find rumblings on a season 2 second half. So we just now getting this, you know. So,
Okay.
I mean, you know, these networks they come different, man. They like what they like when they want. They want what they want when they want it.
Right.
Yeah, I think season 3. If we film a season 3, it'll be a lot different. I think it, you know, the impact and the way we move will be a lot different. You know, and I think that I would love for them to actually show it in that manner and let us do what we know what to do now.
Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to give you fellas an opportunity to just plug yourselves right quick in the respective things that you're doing. And I do want to give you your flowers Just proud of what y'all doing as Black men out here. Y'all got so many different things going on individually, and just let people know that you're more than just Love and Marriage Detroit. I think people forget that when they see you on TV, that you're more than just what's happening in this situation. So just wanted to, again, give you an opportunity to plug yourselves and tell people where they can follow you and what you do when you're not in the midst of Love and Marriage Detroit. I'll start with you, Anthony.
Well, AT Network is my production company and studio. So we have a lot of projects we're working on and things that we're releasing. Also with Entertainment University, it's our nonprofit. We expanded into more schools and with more colleges. And we're going to do something real cool this year. We're going to do our first festival with all the kids. We're expecting close to 600 kids from college and high school and middle school. So that's going to be fun. And then at Live Nation, it's about to be our super busy season. We got a lot of shows we're doing, but also festivals. So that's the stuff, production all day for me. That's what I do.
Love it. Okay. Bravo or Brandon, whichever one y'all want to go next.
I guess I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead, B.
So yeah, I'm doing Star Factory every day, all day. And, Detroit, I don't know if you may not know this, but Detroit is really known for like our rap scene here. So I'm really making a big stride this year to really turn the R&B artists up. Just really create a movement and help them create, a lot of collaboration, because like the comedians do it, the dancers do it. And so it's time for the artists in Detroit to really start collaborating and build each other up. And it's a lot that have gone viral. So it's like, now is the time. So, and then other than that, I'm doing my programs called Studio Sphere. And I'm really on a mission to help every school in Detroit build a studio, because, me being around creators every day, I know that creators need to create. And if you are a musically talented person and you're also a creator, you have to create. Like, it's a necessity. And so I want to give every, student, every high school student and middle school student in Detroit opportunity to start creating music, and from their own narrative, their own perspective, tell their own stories, because I just feel like it's just a necessity. And I've seen the impact that it's had in the schools that I've been working with. And so that program is called Studio Sphere. So super passionate about that and gonna be going crazy doing that.
All right. Okay, so Sphere, like SPHERE.
Yeah, like a studio world.
Okay.
Yeah, like a studio world.
Got you. And I was quite impressed the way you was holding that note. What was it, 30 seconds? That clip, I was like,
yeah.
You posted about a week ago. You were holding a note for like 30, or was it a minute?
No, it was 30, but I got 40 in me. I'll be doing that soon.
Yeah. That was quite impressive, because I felt like I was running out of breath watching that. Like, shit, do your thing. So, okay, what about you, Bravo?
So I'm Bravo Detroit right there. On basically all the socials. Detroit Bravo on all the socials. And I mean, outside the show, I'm just trying to build up the hospitality industry. So you can come check out some of the restaurants. I have them in my bio in there, right, on my tagline. Most of them are downtown in Southfield. And other than that, you might see me in a small political space soon.
Oh,
and also I did just acquire.
Wait a minute, hold up. Small political space. Let's back up. What you mean?
Yeah. I've been pressured into getting in a position possibly, locally.
Okay.
But I did acquire a new position with El Cristiano Tequila as the marketing manager of Michigan. So marketing director of Michigan. Sorry. So I mean, I'm like working with actually the tequila brands now, a lot more. So they probably won't see that on the show, of course, but you'll see that online. That's it. That's about it right now. That's it.
Okay, good. Well, that's why I wanted to let people know, y'all got stuff outside of that going on. So I thank you for your time, fellas, for sharing this space and opening up, and I appreciate you, and best wishes to you. Making sure people tune in Saturday, April 12th on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to get another 6 episodes, right?
I believe the 6.
Yeah, 6 plus the reunion.
Oh,
4 plus 3.
yes.
4
That
plus
is
reunion.
gonna be-
Yeah, 4 plus 2.
Oh yeah,
two
yeah,
reunions.
because it's 10. So yeah, you're right. Okay, so 6. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, looking forward to that. Definitely, for sure. So thank you, fellas, and feel free to come back at any time. I appreciate your time. So thank you again for coming on the Rockies Reality, and best wishes with Love and Marriage Detroit.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All righty, we have saved the best for last. At first, I was like, let me let the ladies go first, but I'm saving the best for last, because yeah, the ladies, I'm sure, have much to share with us. So we are speaking with the cast of Love and Marriage Detroit. Well, part of the cast, most of the cast, because it's a couple ladies who aren't with us, but we are speaking with some of the cast today. Tonight, actually, in preparation for y'all. Part 2 of season 2. So some people think this is the new season starting. No, this is pretty much a continuation of the second season. They had to take a little hiatus, have us waiting through the winter. And now that spring has sprung, y'all. This Saturday, April 12th on, I believe it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will see the second part of season 2. And y'all get ready, because it looks like it's going to be a bunch of drama, a bunch of moments of bonding, as well as what I appreciate about when the shows, it's not just always about drama. And I love how these couples, as I told the fellas, I love how they represent the city in a great way. So we're going to start off, though, with watching the trailer.
Here we go. It's now or never.
Detroit returns
I feel so loved. I feel so seen.
with all new episodes
Anthony is the most braggadocious person.
You keep playing with me, I'll burn the whole house down.
and all new drama.
You're not everybody's cup of tea.
It's just a lot.
Are we serious right now?
Hey, man.
I don't know where we go from here with this friend group.
Love and Marriage Detroit returns Saturday, April 12th, 8, 7 Central.
Have coming to the stage the veteran from season 1, Dr. Latoya Thompson. Welcome.
Hello.
We have also not the veteran, but a newbie, one of the newest members, Kimberly Dobine, joining us as well. Welcome. Thank you. And then we have the second newbie, or not even the second newbie, but another newbie, I should say, to this season is Lakita Samuels. So welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for your patience. And I know you're always busy and going. It never stops, right? This is why women deserve all the things. So thank you, ladies, for joining and taking the time. And I just wanted to start off with giving you kudos to what you do in your respective lives. I believe in giving people their flowers. And I want people to know that you are more than just Love and Marriage Detroit. You all have whole careers, you have whole things going on. And of course, in your roles as mothers and wives as well, you do so much. So I just want to give you some kudos and flowers to you for all you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's get into it. How do you all know each other? Make the connection here. I know some of this was shared on the show, but just give a little backstory of how you all know each other and how you all came together.
Who want to start?
Go ahead, Toy.
Well, actually, me and Keita went to Michigan State together. So I knew of Keita. I wasn't able to actually spend a lot of time with Keita, but knew we are Spartan girls. So that's always a good thing. And then, of course, Bravo knows everybody. So, Bravo, Keita.
Right.
Then you have Kim. Me and Kim have been friends for a while. We've met through actual mutual friends, some friends that I actually went to high school with, she's close with. And I started going to some of her events, and we just started to click. And yeah, it's just I love these ladies. They're genuine girls, and we have a lot of similarities when it comes to our husbands, our work life, our children. We just busy. So, it's great. Even getting to know them even the more now that we're connected in this space.
Yes. And yes, Toya said it perfectly. And then also Keita and I share a few very close mutual friends as well. So we were always at kids' birthday parties together and social gatherings. And, like Toya said, everybody know Bravo. So
Do you want to add to that?
No, I mean they both said it how it is. Like Kim said, we have a mutual friend, and me and Toya, we did go to state together, and then just kind of got closer as we did the show. Like I said, like she said, I knew of her, but we didn't really like communicate like that. But yeah, and everybody knows my husband, so generally, if he's there and I'm there, it's that type of connection.
I love it. I love it. Well, I have to say go blue because I'm a Wolverine, but I love me some Spartans still. I love y'all still. We're not gonna let that stand in the way. And that's the irony. I know so many Spartans that I love as friends and business associates. So you're right. Bravo has been putting in work for a while. My girlfriend, she said that she knew him when she was working at the Woodward years ago. So just salute to him and all he's doing around the city, and salute to all of your husbands. And I get it. We all need those girlfriends who we can, honey, get on the phone with and chat about these husbands. Thank God for our husbands, but we know it's not easy, right? So
for sure.
For you all, what has this experience been like? Because, honey, some of that stuff, I said I can't be on reality TV because I would just cut a fool too much. Now, y'all definitely have had y'all moments of cutting a fool.
Really?
Really bad. She must be a fire sign. I said, because the way she bringing it.
I'm a Virgo.
Okay, August or September.
August, the beginning, August 23rd. So
that's that Leo coming into you though.
But the thing about Virgo, we don't just pop off for no reason. We ain't just, it's a build up. It's like, okay.
They earned it. Okay. They earned it. I ain't mad at it though. So what has this experience? Let me start with you, LaToya, since you're the veteran, you from season 1. What has this been like for you?
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I think people take it as, everything is literal, I think, when you watch it. I've watched reality TV, and now being on the other side is like, oh, okay, I see what this is. I see what's, you can kind of see some of the storylines and whatnot, but I think you have to always remember too, like we're all characters. And there's a story that they're trying to portray. And there's some truth, there's some stretch of some truth. And there's definitely some things that, I didn't see it that way, So I think that has been the hardest for me because we have no control of the edits. And, they're going to put what they want to put on there. And you have to just you have to be secure in who you are, but you also have to be secure with your mate too. I mean, they have that, the reality TV curse and all that great stuff about marriages. But, I feel like the one thing that did come out of this, or at least for me and Anthony, is like it forced us to have conversations because we had, you got to be watching yourself. We don't know what this producer going to say. We don't know what, another cast may say or do. Although we're all cool, we don't have any like animosity towards one another like that, but we can be cordial. But there may be different motives for different people and why they're on this platform. And so you may do anything and because of this platform. And I don't put that past anybody. But I trust and believe that, we are here. We're not trying to harm each other. I know that for sure. We all are people of faith, and we all have that strong relationship. I just, it's just been a different it allowed me to see different things. And from that production side, you know, Anthony lives it and breathes it. So it's like, I never really understood it until now being in it. So I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Now I understand. But it's not for the weak.
Definitely not for the weak.
Okay. Kimberly and Keita, you want to add? What has it been like for you all coming in on season 2?
For me, I mean, it's definitely a lot, and just to see how a lot of things play out. Like Toya said, we don't have any control over the edits. We see it when they get ready to release it. That's when we see, how they put it together, how they want this to flow. So I mean, it's been different. And a little backstory about me is initially me and Bravo were they wanted us to be a main cast member, but me, I was like, no, once they told us that they wanted us and things like that, I was like, I don't think that's for me. So, we kind of just took the friend of role just to kind of, fill it out and see, and because it's a lot. It's reality TV, and they want what they want, and there has to be a storyline or some type of something because nobody is going to watch just nothing. So it's a lot. So you gotta have kind of tough skin.
Practice. Yeah, right. They want to see more than you dropping the kids off.
Right. Exactly.
For me, it was a lot. I'm transparent. One, because I really didn't know in what capacity I was coming in. Right. I was told that we want to film you with LaToya. You guys are friends, and even doing the show, I'm like, they do ask about your other friends and all that. So my thought was, okay, I'm just coming on to kiki with Toya, right? Because like every reality show has their friends that they kind of kiki with or whatever. So, but I knew coming into it that I was going to be the villain, because I already had an issue with someone, right? Because of that, I was like, even though I'm not a villain, like in real life, but I knew that's the story that's going to be painted because I have an issue with someone coming in, right? And so, as Toya said before, you have to really be strong and know who you are when you're in these settings, because they can kind of portray you to be whoever. But the good thing is, one thing about me, I'm very consistent in what I say, what I do. So it's only so much they can edit. So really for me, it was like, they just took out everything that, you know what I'm saying? Like everything that was said in terms of conversation, where I know what was said, if there's no context, because I saw a couple of people say like, this doesn't make any sense, right? There's no context. But if you're talking about an hour-long show and you have 5 couples that you have to focus on, they can't focus on me talking about this situation for an hour. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like Toya said, we can't control the edits. We can't control how things are spliced and diced. But what I can control is me. And sometimes, you just got to let a thing be a thing and get it on out. But I'm comfortable in my own skin. I am going to be myself. I'm not going to pretend for the cameras. What you see is what you get. And so, I don't regret anything. I think it was necessary because sometimes you also have to see yourself from the outside or just from someone else's perspective, right? Yeah. I can know who I am. Keita can know who I am, and Toya can know. But it's so interesting to see yourself from someone else's perspective. Like, this is how they chose to edit me. Okay. So now knowing that, now I know how to operate. Now I know how to move. So it was a learning experience for me. It was a lot, but I don't regret it. For a minute I did. I was like, now, you know what? I called Clay. I said, you know what? I don't know about this. In the grand scheme of things, I wouldn't change a thing because, it's part of the show. There is a story and nobody wants to watch paint dry. Okay.
Right. So a few things. The guys said the same thing as far as the producer and producers crafting and geeking y'all up and instigating things and all of that. And those of us who watch reality TV know that, right? And that's why I said for me, it wouldn't be the best fit because I'd be done punch somebody in the throat. So I was like, you just know I just don't know my lane. But I do admire you ladies for putting your stories out there. But I want to go back to when Toya said y'all all get along, because y'all all don't get along. Y'all all don't appear to get along. Like
Toya said that.
We're cordial. We can be in the same room.
Okay, because it seems like it's definitely some tension between Kimberly and Christina. That was apparent.
Yeah.
And then I know there was some friction between Christina and Kobe during that first season. I don't know what the status is now. But it's obviously. You said what?
I said we don't either.
Okay.
Well,
okay. So what I see that y'all gave the baby shower. Was that a baby shower y'all were giving for Kobe when y'all all had the pregnant bellies?
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems I love how y'all have those moments where y'all come together and support each other. So what? Because I know y'all recorded this months ago. So what is the status now? I want to start with Kimberly and Christina. What's the status? It's because y'all, it was about to go down and We've Got Brunch. I was like, oh, it was looking like it was about to go down. So what's the status now?
I can only speak for me. I'm fine. When I say I'm fine, that means I'm not beefing with nobody, right? But I can't control how someone feels about me. I can't control how, someone else shows up. I can only control me and how I show up. So I'm good. My personality is very much, once I say what I have to say, I'm done with it. And so, yeah, like I'm not beefed out with anybody, but I can say I know who my friends are, and we'll just leave it at that.
Okay, so are you ladies at like an impasse now?
I don't even know. I can't. I'm just living my life.
Okay. So and Latoya, you and Christina had some friction as well. So what is that about? Because you cracked me up when you was like, we're not even really friends. I just know you through my husband friend. I was like, that's
true. That's all facts. I think the energy that was directed towards me from Christina was just to have something. Like we weren't friends like that prior to this platform, and we're not friends after. And I'm completely okay with that. Like, I wouldn't expect her to call me. I don't think she would expect me to call her either. So we're still the same. Like, that's pretty much it. Like, there's no difference. I have no issues with her at all. But there's not a relationship there as far as even like, friendship, acquaintances, or anything, because we didn't have that prior to this. And it was not something that was developed through this. Now, when I could say with like Keita and for Kobe, like I knew them prior, but we developed a relationship through this platform, which I'm appreciative of. Could that have happened with Christina? Could it still happen with Christina? Possibly, but that hasn't happened. And again, I'm completely okay with where we're at. It's not like, oh my God, we're not friends. It doesn't bother me not one bit.
And I think when we get to a certain age too, we be like, look, it is what it is, especially as mothers and wives, we have so much to do. So how do you fit into this? What is your relationship with Christina and Kobe?
I mean, I am cool with all the ladies. I don't, we don't really have too many issues when it comes to me. I mean,
like you had to be allies with Toya and Kimberly because you all have a prior relationship?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I said, do you feel like you have a alliance with Latoya and Kimberly because you've previously known them?
No,
Because
I
you
mean,
all
I
are friends
previously
outside
know
of the show?
Christina too. Our daughters used to dance together. So
Okay.
no, and my thing is, if you wrong, you wrong. If you right, you right. And pretty much that's me. I'm the one. I'm not taking sides. I'm not. That's not what I do. But if you wrong, I'm gonna say, no, that ain't right, or you wrong. So that's just kind of where I fit in at.
Okay, so you Switzerland. You Switzerland. You neutral with it. Okay. I get it. I get it. I get it.
I feel like a lot of their issues, like with her and Kim, that's something that stemmed years ago that they just really haven't reconciled, as far as like her and Kobe and Toya, it's newer, but that's just something that y'all just gonna have to figure out. I mean, if y'all want to figure it out, if not, but
It's
that's not
something
going
that
to
kinda
deter
played
me
off
from
on
being
TV.
anyone's friend or, to stop talking. Because I hang with these ladies. I'll hang with Christina, and it's not, it's not like
Okay.
a
So you still
side
see
I'm
Christina?
choosing.
You still see Christina sometimes, Keita?
I still speak with Christina. I haven't spoken with her in a minute, but I know she got her own things going on. So I've reached out. She's reached out. It's kind of like we just haven't really, we both been just kind of busy. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I've met up with the girls. Like, there's no sides to choose. I can hang with both and be just fine with both. So
Right. We don't.
and they don't. It's not like they try to make me pick a side. When I'm with them, it's nothing about Christina. When I'm with Christina, there's nothing about them. So
Okay. So speaking of telling somebody they wrong, I had to, as a wife, I had to let Bravo know. I didn't appreciate when he wasn't responding and communicating with you. I had to say from a wife's perspective, and he admitted, he was like, what, I was wrong. I had to get it together. So I was rooting for you. I was rooting for you. Like, look, you can text somebody back. It don't take but 10 seconds. We know you busy.
10 seconds.
It don't take that long. We know you busy.
Bravo the life of the party. So he likes to keep things going, and it'll slip his mind. But home is home, and you gotta make sure that I'm comfortable, and I know that you're safe and all of that. So it doesn't take that long.
Right, it's just a matter of respect too. It's just a matter of respect. It's a matter of respect. So what has that been like for you ladies? And Marcel seems like he's kind of like Switzerland too, Kimberly. He's like, look, please don't make my wife mad. Just don't her.
The thing about Marcel is don't let the quiet fool you. It's nothing. That is not one person. That's why he's always calm, because that's not one person you ever want to see go there, right? So please don't let me. Right.
Exactly. When it blow up. Okay, I got you.
And so, but he is very much solid on that. Women's business is women's business. You got it, because his thing is, I support you 100%. Because I know the situation, I know you, I know your friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just very supportive in that way. Right. But this was a lot even for him, because to be honest, we're both very private people. Like, I love to entertain. I love to entertain. Now, everybody knows I love to entertain. Okay. But I am a private person. And so this was a lot for us. It was very invasive for us in the beginning, like, okay, or, just like how we were talking about earlier, like some of the questions producers would ask, or we were like, how that makes sense? Like, we're not talking about that. So it was a lot for both of us to get adjusted to, but him specifically, because he is very to himself, very much a man's man, very private. And so it was an adjustment, but Marcel, and everybody can attest to this, he is really the show pony, because baby, he was eating cameras all up. Once he got comfortable, they'll tell you he was like, oh, it's time for me to do my take. Oh, okay. Like,
be ready, huh?
He was ready. So I'm like, he was good. It took both of us a minute to warm up to the idea. Him a little bit longer than me, but once he was in it, he was in it. So that's where him and Bravo, I think, get along very well. They both, when the attention is on them, they like, wait.
Bravo, he's a talker. He's gonna always. I mean, and I guess we're kind of the same way. Like I'm the quiet one. I'm the private one. I'm kind of, to myself. He is the extrovert. So he is, I mean, and that's his profession. He's in the clubs and, the restaurant. So his job is to entertain, and he likes to entertain.
So Bravo and I are the same because of our professions, right? But in real life at home, I'm the introvert. Marcel is the more extroverted one. And you'll be able to see a little bit of that when they, as the season progresses in our element. He is actually the more extroverted one. Is just when he's comfortable, right? Me, I'm like, I could be at the house, I could be chilling, but it was cool. It was
So what can we expect from the second part? Can y'all give us a little tea on what we can expect from the second part of the season? Just a little tea.
Let us remember.
I know it's been so long.
Brandon said he was like, I don't even remember because it was recorded so long ago.
Man, I think I see the patterns in stories now that I'm paying attention to reality TV. But you'll see, like, we have our blow up, then we try to come back together, and regardless of us trying to make it work, we still have our little issues. There's little things that people say and do that they know gets under each other's skin, and we respond to that. And I think that Brandon and Anthony are good at that. Just dropping little things to, we cool, but I'm gonna let you know too. Or, producers as well, bringing other people to irritate you a little bit as well. So, you'll see a little bit of that. It kind of ends with, I think, us all in disarray again. But we tried, y'all. We tried.
Listen. So wait a minute. Is it gonna be a season 3 to y'all? Any rumblings about season 3?
We haven't heard. We just hearing about coming back on.
Literally. We had it the day before.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think out of this season, I think the next couple of episodes, I mean, we have some fun with all of us. There is not just all drama. We have some interesting conversations. I think this is the last couple of episodes are the good parts. So
yeah, I would agree. And I think that hard conversations are necessary. Like, regardless of how it turns out, some hard conversations are going to be messy sometimes. But that's a part of life. That's a part of adulthood. That's a part of friendship. My favorite line of the season, LaToya knows, is "Friends call out friends."
I'm a big mean.
Oh Lord, who said that?
LaToya in the trailer. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And I'll be like,
I know.
Listen.
But it's true though. Like, and I think
real friends.
Our friendships and whatnot, and what we've been going through. And I think that's part of the issue that we've been having as a friend group, is that some people can't, and I love what Keita said. Keita don't take no side. If you wrong, you wrong. You're right, you're right. And I think a lot of us are that way, but then there are some, Christina, that does not do that. So, that's a problem.
Take accountability?
Or just correct when correction needs to be there, even if they're your friend. But you want to correct other people, or regardless of the fact, you need to be able to, if I'm your friend, I should be able to tell you something when you're wrong in love, and you receive. And if you don't receive it, that's fine. But we're going to come back together and we're going to work this out because I love you as a friend.
Right.
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think that's a real testament to true friendships, for your ability to accept when you are wrong, but hear those hard conversations and criticism from people that you love. If you say you love me, don't tell me everything I want to hear. And that's with any relationship. I need to tell you when I'm wrong, because sometimes I don't see it. But don't be talking about the plank in my eye, and you got the speck in my eye, and you got a big old plank in yours. Like, You need to be able to talk to one another and be able to love on one another in all ways, not just when it's good. And I think that's true to every relationship, and that's our biggest issue that we have on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what is your relationship like with Kobe? Like, how does she fit in here?
Oh, we love Kobe. Yeah,
yeah, Kobe's cool. I mean, Kobe, it'd be to herself, you know, but then she is, you know, she is all on, you know, social media. So it's like, it's funny because it's like, that's her job, but then, you know, she's really actually to herself as well. Yeah. So it's like,
right.
You know, it's funny to see, but she's a sweetheart. And
you don't have her personas. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this season she was just a little bit like, I'm not about to be doing all this. Like she was just kind of, you know, kind of quiet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you're pregnant, I'm about to have a new baby, and
Yeah. You're like, I'm protecting my peace. I'm not about to be doing all that.
Yeah.
So, okay, if there's a season 3, what would y'all like to see happen? Would y'all like to see another couple added? What would y'all like to see happen? If let's just you know, theorize. You know, if there was a season 3, what would we like to see? We want to see somebody gone, or what? What?
I would like to see, you know, people take ownership of their stuff, good, bad, or indifferent. Be themselves, be transparent, and not, you know, worry about the cameras, but focus more so on the relationships. I think if the relationships amongst each other is the focus, then that's going to make for a great show. So yeah, I want authenticity. That's what I would like to see.
Okay.
I would say the same. I mean, the one thing I don't like in this space is that, you know, it's reality TV, and then when you're part of a franchise, you tend, I guess, other viewers tend to try to compare you to the other franchise. And the one thing about Detroit, we're completely different than Huntsville, than DC. You know, I remember one of the producers being like, "Y'all don't cuss." I mean, yeah. I'm like, that's just not like
they hear Detroit and they just automatically think, "Oh, y'all ain't ratchet enough, or y'all ain't cussing, y'all ain't doing this."
Yep.
Listen, best believe Anthony like, let's pray. And he's like, okay. But yeah, I just want, and I think this probably has to come from more from the production side, but like, one, don't compare us because we are different. And we do have true things to talk about that I think are important, that people may say, you know, it's boring, but you know, it's about relationships.
Love and marriage,
and then
right.
too, like I don't want to spend every scene. I'm being real, and I hope, Carlos, if you watch this, I don't want to spend every scene talking about Brandon and Christina. Because it's always like, so, you know, what do you think about that? How do you feel about their relationship? I don't care.
We don't.
I pray for them. I wish them well, but like every scene that we come, or it's like even just activities, or how you know, we had an event. How did you feel about that event? We got to rewind and rerun the event over and over. And I'm like, okay. And I mean, again, maybe it's a production thing, and I just don't understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. I want it to be. There's things that I would love to see more of, like Bravo and Keita. I want to see. We asked. I think Keita talked about this. We asked producers first season. I'm like, we want to hang out. We actually are friends. Like, we want to do something with.
Right. They feel like they keep us away from everybody else.
we are friends in real life. Like, we want to do something with Sam. Like, and they just want to do it. So I think I just want to see actually our true relationships, and like not focus on. Just because one couple has drama, you know, that's all we focus on.
It's
we all have to talk about it. Like,
it's juicy, because I did ask Brandon how they doing. He said they good, so I'm like, okay, we gonna see.
Well, the streets talk, so I don't know, but I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm like, but I had to put it on the record, like, y'all good. He said y'all good, but I'm like, okay, we gonna see. So my thing is, as a married woman too, you know, marriages go through ups and downs, valleys, highs and lows, right? So, and it's not perfect. So you don't want to trash talk anyone's relationship, because we all know it can go from sugar to shit real quick. We know things can and go right back again from shit to sugar.
Right.
So I don't wish any ill will on anyone's relationship. So I appreciate your time, ladies. And I wanted to wrap it up by just asking a couple more questions. How do you deal with the responses from social media? Because people be in them comments. I've been reading the comments like, you know what? Like you said, you got to be strong, because folks are vicious.
Well, I can speak to this. I don't. My thing is,
but you were doing some lives there for a minute, Kimberly, like in response to you and Christina. So
that was to her. Comment. I'm not concerned about the comments, right? Because we're talking about people that have never met me a day in their lives, that are looking at, most of them, just clips on the internet. Most of the people haven't even watched the entire show. I don't concern myself with that. I know in real life, if that person were to see me in person, they'd be like, hey girl, let's take a picture, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not worried about the comments. I'm more so worried about how I respond to things being said that are untrue, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why I did lives and made sure I addressed things. And I said, this is the only time I'm going to address this, right? But I'm not going to go back and forth with someone on the internet. That is not my vibe. That is not my personality. I'm a face-to-face kind of person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We can absolutely have a conversation as adults, as grown individuals, but I'm not going back and forth with anybody on the internet. So the internet ain't bothered me not one bit. Comments, I don't even, on other pages, I don't look at them. I don't put that energy into my space, because I know who I am. God knows who I am. My friends know who I am. And that's all that matters to me.
Okay. What about you, Keita? Especially because Bravo is,
I'm not gonna lie and say that we don't. I mean, I read them all day, because I just like to see the responses and see what people say. I don't care. I'm not about to go back and forth with nobody, but we read them and we laugh and whatever, because like Kim said, they don't know us. They like I've seen comments where people are like, Keita, just shut up. I'm like, dang, what I say? I ain't saying nothing. But I don't let it bother me. I mean, people gonna think what they want to think, and then you have those that are like really into the reality TV. It's like, y'all know what this is. So if y'all want to make y'all little comments, go ahead. But I don't feed into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I must say, like, the first season was hard for me, because I'm not a big social media person, and the tagging and the comments, I had to turn my tags off. Like, don't tag me in no crap, because I didn't like it. And Carlos, he told me, he's like, don't read the comments. Like, and for all people, like, I'm sure the things that I've seen that people have said about him, I'm like, and he just happy-go-lucky to the bank, And so I had to take that. I'm like, even when there was accusations from people on the show and whatnot, even about my about my wine and things of that nature that was being said on blogs or on different things, it did not hurt my business, not one thing, not one bit, and it actually helped, So I had to take it with a grain of salt. I did not like it. And Anthony he don't care about nothing. He's like, why do you let that bother you? And because you don't know them, right? But it did. And so I mean, this season, I was just like, yeah, whatever. What does bother me though, and just like Kim said, is addressing lies. But then when cast members, feed into the things that are lies, in comments. I don't like that. Like, what it is. And how, even like the whole thing with bringing Kim on to come for Christina. Not Christina, what this is about. Christina, you gave Kim name to production. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
So Christina suggested you to be on the show, Kim? Yeah. Okay. Ooh, okay.
But but we know what it is. Like we
Right.
know what this is. So that's the thing I don't like. Like don't feed into some of the lies. Like I know it's reality. We got to do this to go back and forth on, you know, because you got to get the views and all that great stuff. But don't lie though. Like some of the stuff that's blatant lie, and you know that. You can just bypass it. You don't have to say anything, but you feed right into it. You go into your lives and say all these things, and I'm like, you know, it wasn't like that. You know it, but hey, it's TV. So I've gotten better at that, but it does get under my skin sometimes.
Understood. So last question, ladies. What have you learned from this experience? Because I'm sure, just like Kimberly mentioned earlier when we started, how it kind of helps to see yourself from a different perspective. You be watching back like, oh, okay. So what has that been like for you ladies? What I'm sorry, what have you learned from this experience?
Well, I actually learned who my friends were. I've always known who my friends were, but I really learned who my friends were in a great way, right? And I love that because sometimes when you go through moments of what feels like dark times or dark moments, who shows up for you? Who's praying for you? Who's standing in the gap for you? Those friends that remind you who you are. So, you know, it was a really transformative situation and experience for me because I really got to see my friends show up in a beautiful way. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful even for these ladies on the show. I've always had a great relationship with each of them. And so to see them show up for me, you know, and, you know, just be supportive, that was beautiful. So I just love that. That was a big part for me, really.
Okay.
I guess I'll go. For me, I think just being able to really know each other and be able to, get to know people even more. I feel like this experience has just show you a lot about people. And if you didn't have that relationship before, you know, it kind of just, it will kind of open your eyes if you didn't really know them. Depending on what you see. But it gave me a good ability to, you know, really evaluate how I say things and how it comes out. Because sometimes you can say things, but it's the manner and way you say things can be different and can have either a profound effect or not. And I really take that to heart, you know, because you can say, oh, I didn't mean it that way, but how was your demeanor when you said it? And so I really take that to heart with everything, with every person that, especially like even with my kids, like, because their minds, and some adults they're not mature enough to understand what you're saying and the emotions behind it and comprehending that. And so I do take that into account. And when I'm expressing myself, making sure that I'm clear on how I feel and what I'm feeling.
Okay. How about you, Keita?
Well, for me, I could probably say, just because there are a lot more scenes with like me and Bravo in it, just kind of the whole seeing yourself and seeing inside of your relationship and just kind of like realizing some things and seeing how you say things or seeing how we communicate. And the show, I think Kim said it has basically forced us to like communicate more and have hard conversations and things like that. So I think that was a big learning piece for me with doing the show.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, ladies. So I really appreciate your time and I'm looking forward to it. It's Saturday, April 12th on 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And I can't wait to when y'all filming a reunion. That's what I want to see. Is that on the calendar?
It's all done.
We've been did that.
We did everything.
Yeah.
Part It's two
2
parts.
parts.
Cindy?
2 parts.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I can just tell by the way y'all nod y'all heads. That's gonna be a whole situation.
Yeah.
A whole situation. But I want to end with you ladies each saying where people can follow you. What are your respective businesses that they can support? Because we need to circulate these Black dollars. So please, I want and actually, Kimberly, you and I met just briefly at the Moms in Business back in October at Gail Perry Mason's house.
Oh, yes.
Quick passing.
Yes, because I had to leave. I had to leave.
You had to dip in right quick. You had to dip out, so I didn't get to really connect with you there. But I knew that when I saw you there, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in the best space. And of course, with Gail Perry Mason, we're always in a good space. So, ladies, where can they find each of you? And what do you have going on that people can support?
Instagram, Facebook, Opulence Wines on both platforms. You can find my wine in various stores throughout Metro Detroit, as well as online. So we got some partnerships coming up with some kind of, some prominent businesses here in Michigan. So yeah, look out for us. And again, Opulence Wines on Instagram, TikTok, as well as Facebook.
Love it, love it.
Yes, and you can find me on Instagram at my name, Kimberly M. Dobine, my website, passionpopular.com, and definitely stay connected via Instagram and Facebook, all platforms. My business partner, Lauren, and I, our company D&D Group, we're still doing a lot of events that we're gearing up for this year. So stay on the lookout for those. And some more things in store. So I'm excited about what I have coming up and just stay connected.
I love it. I love the Women's History Month event that you all had. That looked like that was all the things. So
yeah, we had a ball. We're going to have a lot more events. We are working on some more partnerships with some amazing brands as well. So just stay on the lookout, stay connected. We want you guys to all be a part. So yeah, I'm excited.
Absolutely. I was going to say, please put me on the list next time. Shameless plug. So I would love to come and commune with you ladies. Anyone who's going to the next level, I'm all about. And that's how I love how you all dispel the stereotype of Detroit. I love it. It was all the things for me. I was like, ooh, they thinking Detroit just gonna be so ghetto and hood, but I love how these ladies are bringing the sophistication. So I love that. So how about you, Keita?
You can find me on Instagram, Lakita Marie, same on Facebook. And if you're in the city, my husband's businesses are, District 78, Chandelier Lounge. He has a nightclub, so.
Absolutely. I've been to District 78, love the food there. And I remember when Chandelier was Centaur, but I like the way they've revamped it now. Yeah. So yes. So
I got another new spot coming up too. So
okay, good. Oh yeah. Let's keep me posted. Okay. So ladies, this is not goodbye. This is see you later. So I appreciate your time again. And make sure you all are watching April 12th, this Saturday coming up, 8 p.m. Eastern, for the second half of season 2 of Love and Marriage Detroit. And it's going to be all the things, I can tell. So thank you, ladies, again for joining me. And I wish you well, and I'll definitely be in touch. And please don't hesitate to reach out if I can be of any support to you as well.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Take care. Have a good night.
Too.